Okay, picture this. A massive global star, a movie everyone's waiting for, and suddenly, boom, a huge controversy just explodes across the country. Today, we're diving deep into exactly that. The Sardaar Ji film controversy. You've got Diljit Dosanjh, Pakistani actress Hania Aamir. It's a lot. And our mission for you today is to really unpack what happened, look at all the different angles, and figure out what this whole thing tells us about, well, art, national feeling, and being famous globally, especially in India.
Absolutely. And we're drawing on, industry reports, official statements, what people are saying all over social media, just to give you the full picture. So to get started, you really got to understand India's position on cultural stuff crossing the border. It's pretty firm. After terror attacks like Pulwama back in 2019 and then Pahalgam more recently, April 2025, well, the big film unions, FWICE and AICWA, they basically put a hard ban on Pakistani artists. Full stop. National security was the priority, way above cultural projects. It wasn't subtle.
Right, a clear line. And this is exactly where Sardaar Ji steps right into it. They cast Hania Aamir, a Pakistani actress, and some others too, like Nasir Chinyoti, which, directly went against that ban, even though, okay, the filming itself happened earlier. Back in February 2025.
Yeah, but the real flashpoint where it really blew up was the trailer release. That was June 22nd, 2025.
Yeah.
And critically, this was after the Pahalgam attack and after India's Operation Sindoor airstrikes in May. The timing was problematic, to say the least. For a lot of people, it wasn't just bad timing. It turned a casting decision into something that felt like, well, a shameful betrayal, especially with everything so raw. FWIC even went so far as to accuse Hania Aamir herself of using her platform to, quote, spread venom against India.
Wow. Okay, so with that kind of firestorm brewing, what was the defense from Diljit Dosanjh and the film team? What did they say? And maybe more importantly, how did that argument actually land with people who were already pretty upset?
Their main point was the timing. They said, look, the filming was done before all this recent tension flared up, sort of implying they couldn't have known. And to try and manage the fallout financially, too, they went for an overseas-only release, June 27th. They even blocked the trailer inside India, geo-blocking. But here's what's really interesting how that was received. The film bodies, the public, they mostly didn't see it as damage control. They saw it more like an attempt to sidestep the ban, avoid taking responsibility. The whole we need to cut our losses argument, it just didn't resonate. National feeling was way more important. And the geo-blocking, instead of calming things, it almost looked like admitting, yeah, we know this wouldn't fly in India.
So the reaction wasn't just negative, it sounds like. It was pretty overwhelming. Total backlash. It's kind of staggering, actually. FWICE calling for a blanket boycott, talking about revoking citizenship, banning him from Indian nationality rights, calling it a shameful betrayal of our country and its people. Strong words.
Very strong. And you saw that mirrored online? Absolutely. People on social media were furious. The line, Profit First Nation comes second, kept popping up. Even other singers started weighing in. Guru Randhawa put out some, let's say, cryptic comments about loyalty. Mika Singh was more direct, flat out saying Dosanjh should apologize. Now, there was one Punjabi singer, Jasbir Jassi, who tried to defend Dosanjh. He brought up times in the past when things maybe weren't so strict. But ironically, that kind of just highlighted how much things have changed. It underscored just how firm the current stance is against any cross-border art right now. The message seemed to be, that was then, this is now.
Okay, so let's sort of pull back and look at the bigger picture here. We've laid out the events.
Okay.
What's the main takeaway from this whole Sardaar Ji situation? It really seems to hammer home how crucial national interest and accountability are in India's entertainment world now.
Definitely. The reaction, how unified it was from the industry and the public, it really underlines something important. That whole idea of art has no boundaries. Well, in India, that idea seems to hit a wall pretty hard when national security or sovereignty feels threatened. There's this very strong expectation now. If you benefit from India, from its platform, you need to stand by its values. Unequivocally.
And here's something truly fascinating, a real paradox to chew on. While all this is happening in India, the calls for boycotts, citizenship revocation, accusations of betrayal, a university in Canada is apparently planning to introduce a course studying Diljit Dosanjh's cultural impact, his music, highlighting him as someone who bridges cultures.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? And it's one for you listening to think about, too. How do artists juggle global fame, global ambitions, when national feelings and politics draw such sharp lines? And what kind of responsibility do they ultimately have to their home country when their art bumps up against national identity like this? Definitely something to mull over after this deep dive.